All right, here I am in my nephew's backyard in Transylvania County, North Carolina. And as I was just walking down, I happened to notice these black trumpet mushrooms. These are one of my all-time favorite mushrooms. They are really, really lightweight, but they are so tasty, and it doesn't take much to to add some flavor to your meal. Just keep in mind, they're not going to make a big part of your meal. They're more like using herbs in your meal. What to notice is these were easy to find because they're on this green carpet of moss. A lot of times when you're looking at them and there are a lot of leaves around, or it's bare earth, they might be a little harder to notice, and it's sort of like looking for black holes in the ground. They're really hard to mistake. So if I'll pick one right here, when you see the black, they are ready to pick, even though they look a little bit dusky on the side. And part of that's because they've got these sort of buff color spores. Notice that there's also, you don't see any gills here. You might notice what looks like veins a little bit. Some of them may have more, some don't have as many. It's entirely hollow. It's very paper-like, in fact. Some people, the French word for these is trumpet of death, not because they're bad to eat, but because it's as if someone under the ground was blowing on a black trumpet. What else to say about them? They're delicious, but you see how thin they are. You don't want to overcook them, and just adding a little bit to a meal is going to be enough to give it flavor. I like to use it in pastas because in pastas, you just need a little bit of added flavor without needing an actual filler, like some mushrooms can be. The other thing to note is these will dry very well, and then you can crumble them up and add them to different sauces, or add them to, if you make your own pasta, or add them to butter, sort of like a substitute for truffle butter in a way. But that's it. I'm going to pick some of these black trumpets and add them to our meal tonight. All right, one last thing to note. There really aren't any common lookalikes. Some people think that the devil's urn is a lookalike for the black trumpet. Just note that a black trumpet is definitely more trumpet shaped, whereas the devil's urn, which is not a deadly mushroom, is definitely more cup shaped or bowl shaped. If you think about like one of those stemless wine glasses, that's the shape of a devil's urn, whereas a black trumpet, more like a trumpet.